Live from Camp Briteside in Georgetown, Texas, this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show with head coach Chuck Griffin. Camp Briteside, located at 8701 Rural Route 2338 or Williams Drive in Georgetown, Texas, is the host of this year's show. And now, here's the voice of your Georgetown Eagles, Wally Harmon.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Camp Briteside for tonight's Eagle Nation Coaches Show. We're live. It just took a minute. Just bear with us here. It's like after the first game, the first coaches show just has to change up. But decals with dads went well.
And there's jobs.
There is.
They get in the way, too.
Exactly right. We're live here at Camp Briteside, proud host and sponsor of Georgetown Eagle Nation Coaches Show. And it's always fun to come to talk about Eagle football, especially after a win. And Georgetown did just that in the season opener on the road at Victoria, Texas, against the Victoria East Titans, a 27-0 win. And I think one thing that stuck out across the whole thing, Dave, we just talked about it a minute ago, it was defense from freshman, JV, and varsity against all of the Victoria East teams. 0 points allowed. Defense spoke volumes this week.
Right. They pitched a shutout against, Victoria East and I believe Temple. And then that's just a big deal when you can shut out some football teams right off the bat and carry on the ways of last year in the sub-varsity teams and just keep the winning ways going on.
You go on the road, Kelly, season opener, you're going to be challenged with things on the road of traveling, things on the road of locker rooms, the niceness of what you're playing at compared to Birkelbeck and what is home and what's comfortable. This team did a good job of adapting to the circumstances. It was super hot on Friday. It was super uncomfortable on Friday when you talk about you're talking about an older stadium, concrete with some bolted down metal bleachers. The locker room smaller and hotter, so the players spending more time out in the shade behind the stadium, but not what you're used to when you go to Birkelbeck. You're at home. You get those nice facilities, blessed like here at Georgetown ISD, and you got to enjoy it. But the team adapted well and come out with a victory. Not always everything you want to see out of it, but enough you got the win on the road to open the season, and now you just improve from there.
Yeah, and as Coach told us last week, kind of treated it like a playoff game with the buses and doing some of the same things they would do with the playoff game, just to kind of get used to that kind of groove. But team came out, a little bit of a slow start, but got their feet under them a little bit. And, we talking with some players, talking with some coaches, and talking with Coach Griffin. Lots to work on, but the key is priority 1, win the game. Priority 2, get out as healthy as you possibly can. Priority 3, have a good foundation to build on for the rest of the season. And that's the advantage of having these 3 games before we get into district, to get some of those kinks worked out, get some players some playing time, get them some experience in the game, get used to the speed of the game. And I'm proud of how these Eagles played.
Dave?
And I think another piece of the success is our athletic training staff with H and those folks, because they were working their tails off that night. The guys were in the shade, but there was even a cheerleader that needed some help on the sideline. They had everything set up, and they took care of the youngsters really well, and that didn't affect the game.
There was a color commentator who needed some help, too. It was hot.
But we talk about it. Where you look back from year one to last year to this year and through the scrimmage in week 1, we're successful. H didn't end up in the hospital during the scrimmage. The training staff was healthy, kept these boys hydrated and safe in the heat. But I tell you what, that was a brutal heat on Friday night, but the boys persevered through it. And Georgetown comes away with a win. You just can't say enough about defense. You went into that game with 2 out of your 3 starting linebackers not there. And you had linebackers step up. Malachi Miller with a big interception. You'll get to hear from one of the linebackers in Hammett later tonight, stepping up in an opportunity that's given. and the name that we called a lot on that field. But the defense, we kept talking about it during Decals with Dads. We talked about it in the pregame is what names are going to pop up that we're not used to. Right. You have the Tennyson Dean. You have the Cole Mitchell. You have the Jihad Abdenur, the Kate Erickson, the names you heard last year. And then all of a sudden you hear the Fielding Garners. You hear the Hammets. You hear the Malachi Miller. You hear the A.J. Stevenson even more emphasized in a game like that. Those guys on defense played well, but then two names in the offensive backfield in Weston Stewart and Zach Guyton came up big time in the running back department and put up big games in their first varsity ball game. Made a big difference on the ground game for Georgetown.
We talked about it during the game. We talked about it during some of the breaks, but those running backs getting some good carries like that, gaining some good yardage. We saw a lot out of that, and that speaks to not only this season but what the future holds. And then Caleb McDougal coming back for his junior year, started last year as a sophomore, came back, and, conversations with him just like all the other players. I got some things to work on. We got the dub, but we got some things to build on. And it gives you confidence that there's not going to be this overconfidence next week because we shut out Victoria East. Everybody recognizes there's things to work on. We just continue to grow and build.
Right, and the running backs, the reason you've got your two backup running backs getting 100 yards is that big offensive line and the consistency you have there. The fellows are big on the front line, and they're opening up big holes for the guys to run through. And so no matter who we have in the backfield, that offensive line, that's where it starts. And that's a beautiful thing on the sideline to see those big fellows, making it happen and protecting Caleb and giving him time to do what he needs to do back there to get the ball out to the wide receivers.
And you talk about that offensive line, 3 of them first-time starts on Friday night. And so your middle of your lineup, of your offensive line, all first-time starts at the varsity level, anchored by Sam Lopez and Caden Scherer on the outside. Then you had the center, Ryan Mishcott. You had the Caleb Hennessy, and then Big Tasty, A.J. Gonzalez was out there as well in his first start. And so 3 of your 5 linemen get first starts, and your offense controls the game, wins at 27-0. You've got to like things like that, and there's always room for improvement each and every week.
Yeah, and you saw some of the inexperience, especially early in the game, but that's nothing hugely egregious that just makes you worry for the rest of the season. It's stuff that's fixable and will get fixed by this coaching staff and the players during the practices. And if Dave keeps interrupting while I'm in the middle of a thought, now I forgot. But,
No, I was just going to say that the youngsters that have come up to varsity, they were playing last year and they went undefeated, and they were playing their sophomore year, their freshman year, and so it's just their first time on varsity. But it seems like they're very experienced. I mean, they really are doing well.
And the thing is, you see the speed difference on a Thursday night to a Friday, the Friday night lights, the crowd that traveled to Victoria East, and what you saw there, the crowd at Victoria East to support their Titans, all big things that are just something new. You're used to the winning. You're used to being out on that field and competing with these fellas. But now on a Friday night scale, putting that G on and wearing it with pride and coming out with a big win in week 1. That brings us to week 2. It's home, Belton, Birkelback. We're already happy because we'll be back in the friendly confines of the press box and bring you the call on Friday night. Take a quick time out. We come back. It's head coach Chuck Griffin joining us live here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Stay with us live at Briteside. We'll be right back. We're back live here at Camp Briteside. We're joined by head coach Chuck Griffin. And, Coach, we talk about it amongst ourselves. We look at the game. We watch the tapes after and think about it. But week 1, like you said, a win is a win. We got out there and won the game on the road. A big week here. A lot of improvements across football programs happen week 1 to week 2.
Yep.
What do we look for this week with Georgetown?
Just improvement. The big deal is we got to get better. And we've talked about this week, like we got to get better every day, every rep. That's kind of the mindset that we got to have. So, we got a big win. We were fired up about that. Anytime you get a win and go, all right, we got lots of stuff to fix and still get a win, that's really good. I'm excited about it. We had a good week of practice. Our kids have practiced hard, and we just got to go out and execute this week.
Coach, when you come off a win like this, you shut out Victoria East. Defense was able to shut down some of the athletes. But when you come away from a shutout victory with your first one and some players that don't have a lot of varsity experience, what's the biggest challenge in getting them ready for a Belton Tiger team?
Just get better. Like that. That's the big challenge is you can't, at this level, you can't ever decide, okay, I've reached the pinnacle, right? Like if you do that, you're going to lose. So the mindset's got to be that I got to get better today. And we talk about that all the time. Like I got to get better Monday morning in practice. When I come back Monday afternoon, I got to get better in the weight room and I got to get better in film, and it's got to be a constant thing. And if you'll do that over and over, then you're going to have success.
You talk a lot about culture, and I think a lot of coaches sometimes pay some lip service to culture, but culture is a huge issue. And it seems like from the outside looking in that this culture is something that the players embrace. They buy into it. Yeah. You've got the player leaders. Talk about how you keep a positive culture going that's not just lip service.
Yeah, I think that it starts with, kind of everything. Like our motto this year is 3 strands, and that's from Ecclesiastes 4:12. And the concept is that, hey, when you think about a football game, offense, defense, special teams has got to be good, right? Or you got to think of it as, the secondary, the linebackers, and the offensive line got to be good, whatever. And so we're looking at that. Okay, well, our parents and our players and our coaches all got to be on the same page. Our community, our school, and our team have to be on the same page. And I think that's the big thing that drives culture is having a community that is willing to embrace what we're doing and the message we're putting across and continuing to speak it and talk about it. And it takes work. I mean, it's something you gotta address all the time. But our kids respond to it. Our parents have responded to it. And man, it's awesome to see.
A lot of names on the report card that had the defense, defensive names. Talk to us about that defensive, output this last week.
Yeah, I mean, our guys did a tremendous job, and some guys that names you haven't heard of. Fielding Garner led us in tackles and just played in the second half. Because we're still searching for some spots and get some people lined up, and we got a lot of linebackers played, and Landon Hammond had a great game. Easton Smith had a great game, another linebacker that is a name you haven't heard very often. So Tennyson Dean had a great game. Jesse Espinoza and AJ up front did a good job, and Tyler Leininger had caused a fumble and had a fumble recovery. So just lots of different spots all over the place of guys doing their job.
Oh, it's you go.
All right, we were talking about you go to this offensive line. Anytime you replace 3 out of 5 starters, it could be problematic or it could be really good. It seemed to be pretty solid given game 1. How do you keep building on that with this group that you have anchored by 2 big seniors on the outside that have a lot of experience?
The big thing for us up front is probably just communication. The times we did have an issue up front, it's just communication. We ask a lot out of our guys, and the times that we did not, we blocked well when we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. When we didn't, it's just because we had a miscommunication up front. Somebody didn't go where they're supposed to go, and we turned somebody loose. So that's got to improve. But man, really excited about those guys. When you got guys like Sam and Caden to build on, and guys that Sam's got 25 games under his belt. Caden is just a force, a Division I athlete, right? So building around those guys obviously helps, and then we've got some really good guys that are stepping up in those interior roles.
Had opportunities this week to visit at volleyball. I get to talk to Caleb McDougall quite a bit since he's there watching his sister Kendall. It's awesome to have a quarterback that's able to be critical of himself and talk about not having a good game. How big is it to have a running game like that happen the other night with Stewart and Guyton stepping in, and then that receiving core with Madre and you have, of course, X-Man on the other side who is a force to be reckoned with. How big is that to have those pieces around your quarterback that knows he can fix his things and better himself, but that offense picked him up when it needed.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a concept I've kind of always taken with my quarterbacks is really you got to drive the bus. You got all these other players that know what to do and where to go and how to do it, and you've got to get the ball to those guys, and you got to move the change in the right direction and take what they give you and just be focused on those things, and you got a chance to be successful. So Caleb does a tremendous job preparing and getting ready. He takes some ACC classes, so he didn't start till this Monday. So the first 2 weeks of school, he just sat in the office till lunch every day watching film and getting ready because he didn't have a class, until lunchtime. So he's a great kid. He does a really good job preparing and getting ready.
High school's changed since I was there.
Yeah.
A long time ago. Coach, what are we looking for in the Belton Tigers this week?
Coach Sniffen does a good job. They're going to be a well-coached football team, and they've had their ups and downs over the last few years. They beat us at home probably 4 years ago, something like that. So they've had some talented teams, and Coach does a good job coaching, and so we'll have to be prepared to go out and execute. They're going to line up right. They're going to run the football. They're going to throw the quick screens and try to get their guys on the perimeter and get them some points out that way, So they won a big game. That game was 10-7 with just over 4 minutes left, and they won 21-17. So, it was a big game, and they won kind of in a bold fashion. So they're going to feel some juice coming off that and feel really good about themselves. So we're going to go out and take care of ourselves and weather the storm a little bit because they'll throw some haymakers here early and just continue to do what we do and execute.
Going to be some speed on that other sideline this week, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Lots of athletes
Yep.
in Belton. It's going to be a little a different look than we saw with Victoria East.
Yeah, they've got a quarterback that's pretty good. And the same quarterback they had last year, but they got him in the gun and he's throwing the ball around instead of being under center, and which is helping him out. And so they do a good job throwing the ball around the field and trying to run the power game, and you'll see a lot of that tomorrow night or Friday night.
And this week, a lot of things going on. You've got everybody's wearing gold for the cancer awareness, correct?
No, that's later.
That's later.
They're selling everything, but that's not till later.
Okay.
That's
right.
That is the Leander game, I believe. I think
Leander,
Glenn, somewhere in there. It's the last weekend of September for us.
Okay.
Yep. We got parent night tomorrow night.
Yes,
that's the big thing is parent night tomorrow night.
How has practice gone this week in that week 1 to week 2 transition? You had the day off from school. The boys still came in and practiced early. How have the practices been, and how ready is this team to go back to week 2 and get to work?
I think they're ready. We've had a great week of practice. Our kids have played hard, practiced hard, and I'm putting some pressure on them because I think we have the opportunity to be good, right? So I don't want to just settle with the status quo. We want to challenge them every day. And they've responded well to that and practiced hard and gotten better.
How do you balance really working hard versus working too hard and they're tired come Friday night? How do you strike that balance?
I think the system, we got a lot of systems and structures in place to try to take care of those kind of things. I think we do that, but just how much we practice, the way we practice. My challenge to them is, hey, if we'll practice hard and run fast and we'll do those kind of things, then that means we don't condition, right? We'll condition as we practice, which is what we want to do because we want to play fast, so we got to practice fast. And if we'll do that, that'll take care of itself. So we got a lot of systems and structures. We got time limits and all those kind of things. It's pretty hard to practice too much, because there's lots of things in place to make sure that doesn't happen. But you can make it. You do have to get a good read on the kids. You can make it too stressful, right? You got to make it fun. You got to apply pressure, right? Like it's kind of there's kind of a razor's edge that you got to run there. But we just got great kids that their parents have high expectations of them. They expect them to do well. They expect them to be on time. They expect them to be there. And that's a great kid to coach because they're going to show up and be ready.
It's head coach Chuck Griffin. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll let him take a break. When we come back, I think I saw him come in. It's senior lineman Sam Lopez. We're going to talk to him next. Live here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Stay with us. Live from Camp Briteside.
Visit Camp Briteside and enjoy great food and drinks in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drinks, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Ranch Road 2338 Williams Drive. near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show each Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food and fun like nowhere else in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
Number 78. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
78, yeah. It's a
78.
senior here. It's so weird, Sam Lopez, our offensive lineman, one of the tackles here on the Georgetown Eagle offense. Sam, this is your third year as a starter. And we saw this week, offensive lineman of the week, and I heard some rumors that you were awarded a local award, being recognized as one of the top linemen in the area this week.
Yes,
How
sir.
does it feel going into your senior year? You've had a couple years under your belt, and now in your senior year to be one of the anchors of this offensive line with experience coming back. How much fun is it, and how much you enjoying so far this senior year?
I mean, it's pretty surreal. You know, I've been playing varsity for the last 2 years, so it's been real fun. But now I finally have a year where I'm with all my guys, with all the guys that I know. You know, I've known some of these dudes all my life, and it's just real fun that I get to be able to play a season of football with them. And I would say the season's going great, you know. We're really gelling as a team, and we're really improving so far.
How much were you looking forward to all through the summer with Champs Camp and then coming back into two-a-days when practice started? How much were you looking to it as just a memory part that this is the senior year for Sam Lopez? This is your last year to make it an impact on this team, on this program, and wearing that number at Georgetown for 3 years now. How big was that, and what's going through your mind knowing it's your senior year?
I mean, there's a lot going through my mind because, you know, it's real fun because it's my senior year, but it's also sad because it's my last year, you know. It's my last year with a lot of these guys, and, you know, I'll move on and do my own thing. But honestly, it didn't really hit me until I walked into the locker room for the Victoria East game because that's when I realized, oh, this is my last first football game, you know, and it kind of hit me then. But then, you know, I just got to know that I can finish out this year strong.
This Friday night, the last home opener of your high school career. How much are you looking forward to being back at Birkelbeck, getting ready to go against a Belton Tiger team like this, and seeing those Friday nights, the first Friday of your senior year? How big is that, and how much are you just able to absorb these moments, knowing that it is that senior year?
Yeah, I'm real excited because I just want to embrace these, you know, last few home games I'm going to be able to have with, you know, a home crowd behind my back cheering me on. And, you know, I'm just real excited to play them. They're a good football team. I'm excited to going against their D-line because they're going to give me a challenge. And, you know, I think we'll just have a great time out there on Friday night.
How much fun was it watching these two younger running backs, you know, and opening up for them and getting that run game going? Y'all pretty much established that dominance on the field.
It's always fun because, you know, if your running back's doing a good job, it's usually because you're doing a good job. So it's fun knowing that. But, you know, on the Georgetown team, like, we've known these guys have been real good running backs, but, you know, we know other people haven't because they've been, you know, on the freshman team or JV team. And it was just really fun seeing them, you know, show how good of a football player they are and, you know, just really ball out.
To be your senior season and be considered a leader of this offense, a leader of this offensive line, what are you looking to pass on to the next group? That when Sam Lopez leaves, what legacy and what are you going to leave them to the next group that takes over, that it becomes the leaders next year and the year after that have been influenced by you over the last 3 years?
I just it's kind of hard, but I hope they kind of take my work ethic and just like the way. I mean, I don't want to. It sounds like I'm bragging, but I want them to, you know, kind of continue to attack things the way I did, like whether it's film or, you know, just trying to be like smarter within the game, because I think that's like the main reason why I'm good at football is because I'm smart. I know what things to do. I just hope they continue to work on their like football IQ and stuff like that.
I think it's okay for you to brag. You've started 3 years now running as an offensive lineman at a 5A school in Texas. That's pretty impressive of itself. It deserves a lot of credit to be able to pull that off, one, and two, to show the continued growth in yourself and the dominance that you show on this offensive line. If you had to pick today one memory of Georgetown football in your time here at Georgetown, what's going to be your favorite memory you're trying to take away? Or is it still yet to come?
I mean, it might be. I mean, that's kind of hard to think, but so far it's probably, I would say, it's kind of hard to not go against that playoff game at Birkelbach last year, winning that. And just, like, at the end when Jet ran in the touchdown, the whole team's there. That's just a great memory that I probably won't forget,
What does the future look like for Sam after Georgetown when graduation occurs? What's the future hold?
I'm just going to go to college. I'm not decided on what college it'll be, but I'll probably major in something like political science and just do my own thing from there.
Good.
Nope, I can't.
No,
That's a trivia question.
Oh, that's trivia.
No.
All right.
I didn't go with the 5 hot questions for them because of trivia. Any shout-outs before I let you get down?
Shout out to Freaky 5. Shout out Jackson Bates. That's my compa. Shout out Coach Flo. Shout out Coach Griff. Shout out Coach Kinch. They're the reason I was able to get that award. They helped recognize me. And then, I don't know, just shout out the whole line. But, yeah.
It's an award-winning offensive lineman, number 78, Sam Lopez. We'll take a quick timeout. We come back. It's one of our junior linebackers. Landon Hammett will join us next. I don't know if he knows it, but he's going to be up here next on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Stay with us.
Visit Camp Briteside and enjoy great food and drinks in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drinks, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Ranch Road, 2338 Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show each Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food and fun like nowhere else in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
For all the fly fishing, hunting, and outdoor enthusiasts, River and Ranch Provisions is your one-stop shop for the gear you need. River and Ranch offers a large selection of outdoors and hunting supplies. Cody, Brad, Sam, and Tim have put together a high-end outdoors outfitter with high-quality services to make everyone feel welcome and important, regardless of your experience level. Come see what we have to offer at 807 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown or visit our website at rrpgtx.com.
Back live here at Camp Briteside. Hey, Landon Hammett snuck out on us. That's all right. We got one of our senior offensive linemen. He wears number 26. His name is Tyler Leininger. If you've heard the name Leininger before, it's associated with Georgetown baseball. Riley Leininger played baseball for Georgetown and continues on in his collegiate career with baseball, and that's what we were just chatting about. But Tyler, an opening game. You got on the road, and now in the starting position is one of the ends, the defensive side of the ball. How much fun was Friday night at Victoria?
It was a great night. I had so much fun. It was just amazing. Loved being there with all my teammates, all my friends. Great night.
From the past, Thursday nights to Friday night, big difference? Was it bright lights? Any struggle getting used to the quickness of the game, or is it jump right in, you're immersed, and your teammates had you ready to go?
I think my teammates, especially the offensive line, definitely prepared me. Like it is a big jump. It's very competitive, but that's just even more fun. I love the competitiveness of being on varsity, and it's a big jump from Thursday nights to Friday nights.
We've talked quite a bit about the defense tonight, but what's your take on the defensive performance Friday night?
Well, I think we do good for the most part, but we could be better, and that's something that we strive to do, and we hope to go better as the season goes on and not just stay at this same pace, I guess.
Right.
You guys have a game like that where you shut out a team in Victoria East, but feel like you can get better. How much fun is that, knowing, hey, we did well, we did our job, but we can be better at it and get better and better throughout the year? How much fun is that for you guys as a team to challenge yourself?
I think our team is very competitive. We love challenging each other, and just it's great. Like the competitiveness in practice is just on another level, and it's amazing that we all think that we can elevate our standards to another level and become a better team using each other.
In the practices, in two-a-days, getting ready for the season, you go against this offense, your own offense. How much fun is it on Friday nights when you get to go and hit somebody else from another team and try to exert that dominance as a defense against an opponent, not your teammates?
For the most part, I take it pretty easy on our offensive line so they don't get injured, especially Caden Shear. But it feels amazing being able to let loose on somebody else who I don't have to see the next morning.
That's always a fun bonus. Now, in your senior year, when two-a-days started, when the practices started, knowing it's your senior year, how much fun were you looking forward to it, and how much fun are you having now and able to absorb this experience as you go through this season?
I'm pretty sure I'll have just tons of fun this season. I'm just trying to soak it all up before it's gone. It's like high school football. You only get 4 years of it, and that's it. It's gone. So I really cherish these years, and especially this year, especially since it's my senior year.
Who leads this defense for you guys? Who do you guys look to lead you guys when you're on the field, off the field, in the locker room, in film session? Who do you guys turn to as a leader, and how do you all challenge yourselves to be better and to push yourselves to be better for your teammate?
I'd say Tennyson Dean or Cole Mitchell. Those two, they're very, very competitive. They're always leading and pushing us to be better.
What does the future hold for Tyler Leiniger?
Probably no more spiking balls. Probably. Maybe. We'll see.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but now we can ask about that question. So the excitement level in the recovery of the fumble, it didn't look like to me, up where we were up in the rafters, didn't look like it was I'm going to show you up by the spike, but the excitement of the moment. What's going through your head when all that happens? That ball hits the ground and you get on it. What's going through the mind?
Well, first of all, I think that I probably would have scored if that running back didn't wrap up my legs. It's pretty likely that I would have scored a touchdown. But, yeah, no, I think I just got carried away. I was just so hyped. It was, yeah.
Any extra conditioning for the 15-yard penalty?
Oh, yeah. I still have to run, 1,000 yards?
Oh,
I already knocked out 500 this morning. Yeah.
So a few more to go. But a learning lesson, but yet the excitement of the moment.
It's probably worth it, though, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. Can't say that too loud. Coach Griffin there, but.
Any shout-outs before we let you out here?
Shout out Keebler. He's smallest dude out there, but he'll go, man. He's so strong.
It's number 26, Tyler Leiniger, joining us live here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. We'll take a quick time out. We come back. We will wrap it up live here from Camp Briteside. Stay with us. We'll be right back. got to turn that on. We're back here live, Camp Briteside, making sure we got it. They can see themselves on the screen here. It's time for trivia. We have offense on this side. I'm going to say your left, my left, your right. Defense on this side. Got to hand them the mic. They're going to introduce themselves. Name, what did you say? Name, number, and position. We'll start with the defense. And then you'll pass it down.
My name's Evan Carson, number 22. I'm a safety.
Jackson Bates, number 24, safety.
Quinton Rock, number 40, linebacker, DN.
Caleb McDougal, number 12, quarterback.
Braylon Westfall, number 16, wide receiver.
Will Davies, number 9, wide receiver.
All right. So usually, whoever wins, offense, defense, gets to pick the subject for the next week. Since it's week 1 of the Coaches Show live here at Camp Briteside, I picked a subject, and it is Georgetown High School facts and history. So, how well do you know your high school? I did some research. Some are current, some are not current. Now, Coach Griffin's wife is here. Somebody has to raise their hand first, and she will tell me who was first, and that team gets to guess. You get one guess. The other team automatically gets a guess if you are wrong. Question number 1. Who is the current Georgetown ISD superintendent?
Superintendent?
Yeah. Can he phone a friend? Nope.
Dr. Padaville.
Dr. Devin Padaville. So the offense, number 1. There's another one y'all can get in a minute. Number 2, question 2. What is according to the Georgetown High School website, what is the Georgetown High School motto?
Is it Eagle Fight Never Dies?
That is correct. Eagle fight never dies. Offense 2, defense 0. Make sure we keep score. Question number 3. This goes back a little further. The Georgetown football turf room was built by what coach?
Champion.
No. Offense got a guess?
Coach Gandy?
hey, to be fair, I did say this one goes back a little bit, but so we'll give defense another shot.
Dean.
No, it was Coach Art Briles. Oh, he used to coach at Baylor. All right, no one won that one. 2-1. That was funny though. 2-0. I almost want to give him half a point for Coach Gandy. That was pretty good. Question number 4. Who is the current Georgetown High School principal?
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson. It actually is the high school principal. All right. It's 3-0, but we're going to go with question 5 because I want to see if any of these boys know what is the name of the Georgetown High School librarian? Quentin got it first. Don't go with the defense. Go ahead.
Miss Susan Cooper.
Look at the defense getting a point. So the offense wins 3-1 in week number 1, and now they get to choose our subject matter for week number 2.
Let's go. College football all time.
All-time college football. So we can go any from current. How far back can we go? I mean, y'all had a problem with Gandy and Art Briles, so 2000 to the current. To their lifetime. Yeah, that's right. So the offense wins week number 1 here at the Camp Briteside Eagle Nation Coaches Show. We'll take a quick time out. Dave has wrangled out our Booster Club president, Jeremy McDougal. We'll come back with him, talk about the upcoming game Friday night, the tailgate, and get us ready for Friday night's game against the Belton Tigers. Quick time out. We'll be right back here at Camp Briteside. Stay with us.
For all the fly fishing, hunting, and outdoor enthusiasts, River and Ranch Provisions is your one-stop shop for the gear you need. River and Ranch offers a large selection of outdoors and hunting supplies. Cody, Brad, Sam, and Tim have put together a high-end outdoors outfitter with high-quality services to make everyone feel welcome and important. regardless of your experience level. Come see what we have to offer at 807 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown or visit our website at rrpgtx.com.
Visit Camp Briteside and enjoy great food and drinks in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drinks, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Ranch Road 2338 Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show each Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food and fun like nowhere else in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
That's probably because I had the mute button on. Who texted us? That was awesome. Thank you, whoever did. So we'll start back over. Friday nights, parent nights, Belton against the Belton Tigers. 5:45 to 6 is when parents are going to show up, line up. But it's the tailgate. South Star Bank provides that on Friday night. They'll have the smoker, burgers, come out about 5 o'clock. The players come through 5:15, 5:20. Be there and line up that little road. And as they walk through, it is fun to be a part of that and just see the look in those eyes and the smile and the pride on the faces of those boys as they come through. But more importantly, Jeremy, after a big win on the road, a good tailgate down there at Froggy's Pub and Pub and Grub that we had there in Victoria, the cool thing is how well this community gets involved. And all of these tailgates at home games this year are all sponsored by companies wanting to be involved. How big is that? And who all's welcome to come out to these tailgates?
That's huge, and we have quite a few people, doing that and sponsoring that every week. But we want everybody to be involved. That's one thing we were just talking about just a second ago. We had a lot of seniors graduate last year. The coaches show tonight is actually pretty thin. I think a lot of it is because the information's not out there. We're going to try to get that out there more. Same thing with the tailgate. We want everybody involved. We have Sun City show up. We have high school students show up. But we want everybody in the community to be there and be involved and get excited, and come watch the boys play and back them up. So
Friday night, Georgetown will take on the Belton Tigers at Birkelbeck Field. 7 o'clock is the first kick. Scheduled for kickoff at 6:15. We'll be live on the air on the SHN Sports YouTube channel, brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting. And we'll be back here next week for week 2. It'll be college football trivia because the offense won it 3-1 tonight over the defense. But an opportunity to come out and support these boys. They work their tail ends off. And it used to be, man, they came in the 1st of August and worked out hard and got ready for the season. These boys don't stop working out. That Champs Camp runs during the summer. They are putting in the effort from the end of the season till the start of the next season, and they deserve that support. Come out and join us. We'll be live there at the tailgate, 5 o'clock. Come out and enjoy the fun, support these young men, and enjoy the atmosphere live at Birkelback. For Dave, for Kelly that joined us and had to take off, to Coach Griffin, to Sam Lopez, to Tyler Leininger, thanks for joining us tonight on a whim. We didn't give him a heads up this week, but we'll be back live next Wednesday to bring you the Eagle Nation Coaches Show again. But join us Friday night, Birkelback Field, to enjoy Georgetown Eagle football. Thanks for joining us tonight live here at Camp Briteside. Remember, it never costs you a dime to be kind. Have a good night, everybody.